Picture this. You pull up next to someone at a stoplight in what looks like a completely normal mid-sized sedan, the kind of car a rental company hands you without a second thought. They glance over, unimpressed. The light turns green, and you're gone before they've even finished processing what just happened. That's the Ford Fusion Sport, a car so forgettable looking that Ford itself basically apologized for how boring the rest of the lineup was right before quietly building the quickest Fusion in the model's entire history. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how this engine has already been tuned to over 375 horsepower in other Ford vehicles. And that same potential is sitting right there under the hood of a car you can buy for less than a used Civic. So what is it? For 2017, Ford took its mid-size Fusion sedan, a car nobody was cross-shopping against anything exciting, and dropped in the twin-turbo 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 out of the Edge Sport. Not detuned, not softened. 325 horsepower and a genuinely absurd 380 pound-feet of torque, all sent through a 6-speed automatic to all 4 wheels. Standard. No front-wheel drive option, no compromise. Ford built the quickest 4-door Fusion of all time and put it on sale next to the base model with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder like it was just another trim level. Let's get into the numbers because they're genuinely impressive for a car most people have never heard of in this configuration. 0 to 60 in as little as 5.1 seconds in independently verified testing, with a quarter mile in the low 13 seconds at over 100 miles per hour. That's quicker than the Taurus SHO we already covered on this channel. A full-size sedan with the same basic twin-turbo EcoBoost philosophy, but less power and more weight to haul around. The Fusion Sport isn't just a footnote in Ford's performance lineup. For a brief window, it was the quickest sedan Ford sold, full stop. Before I tell you how tuners have already unlocked extra horsepower out of this exact engine, hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel keep making these videos. Ford didn't stop at the engine either. This was the first vehicle in its segment to get a continuously controlled damping suspension system with pothole detection. The car's computer reads the road and adjusts damping in real time faster than you can feel it happening. Add stiffer springs, bigger anti-roll bars front and rear, and Goodyear Eagle F one summer tires wrapped around 19-inch dark finished wheels. And you've got a chassis that was actually built to back up the horsepower number, not just wear a badge. Now here's the part that should get any tuner's attention. This 2.7-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost isn't some Fusion-specific one-off. The same basic engine in various states of tune has shown up in the F-150 at 325 horsepower, the Lincoln MKX at 335 horsepower, and the Edge ST at 335 horsepower as well. Ford tuned the exact same hardware differently depending on which badge it wore. That tells you the Fusion Sport's engine has headroom that was never fully unlocked at the factory. Aftermarket tuners working with the F-150 version of this engine have already pulled an extra 30 to 40 horsepower and 60 to 70 pound-feet of torque out of it with just a tune. Add an exhaust, and you're looking at a genuinely quick sedan pushing past 375 horsepower in a car most people assumed came with a 4-cylinder. Driving one is a strange kind of contradiction in the best way. It still feels at low speeds like exactly what it looks like, a comfortable, quiet, slightly numb family sedan. But get on the throttle and both turbos spool up together with almost no lag. The all-wheel drive system claws the power down to the pavement and the whole car just goes. Ford also gave it paddle shifters on that 6-speed select shift automatic, so you can hang onto a gear through a corner instead of letting the transmission decide for you. It's not a razor-sharp driver's car, it's not trying to be. It's a genuinely quick, genuinely composed sedan that happens to be wearing the most anonymous body Ford could have put it in. There really wasn't much else like it at this price point when it was new. The Audi A4 Allroad and S4 offered comparable all-wheel drive performance for 2 to 3 times the money. The Subaru Legacy GT had already been discontinued years before the Fusion Sport arrived. Even the Kia Stinger GT, which we've already covered on this channel, launched around $10,000 higher for similar power. Ford undercut all of them, and then wrapped the whole thing in a body that looked like it belonged in a rental fleet. Step inside, and the sport trim keeps up the disguise almost too well. You get leather-trimmed sport seats with extra bolstering, aluminum pedals, and Ford's Sync 3 infotainment system on an 8-inch touchscreen, a real improvement over the clunky Myford touch system that plagued earlier Fusions. Higher trims added adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and a Sony premium audio system. It's comfortable, quiet, and about as far from a stripped-out track special as you can get, which is exactly the point. Nobody sitting in this cabin would guess what's sitting under the hood. Outside, Ford kept the disguise almost frustratingly subtle. You get a unique mesh grille, dual chrome exhaust tips instead of the base car's single pipe, a small rear deck lid spoiler, and those 19-inch wheels filling out the wheel wells a little more than the standard Fusions. Body-colored side mirrors, LED taillights, and a slightly more aggressive front fascia round out the changes. If you know the Fusion Sport by sight, you'll spot one from across a parking lot. If you don't, it just reads as a nicely optioned rental car. Which, again, is exactly how this car wants it. Now, the part every buyer needs to hear before they go looking for one. The Fusion Sport's all-wheel drive system runs through a power transfer unit, or PTU, and it's the single most commonly reported weak point on this car. It holds a small amount of gear oil. That oil runs hot, and if it isn't changed on a reasonable interval, most mechanics recommend around every 30,000 miles. The seals can fail, the fluid leaks out, and you get a burning smell in the cabin, along with reduced power delivery. Left unchecked, it can mean a full PTU replacement. It's not an exotic problem, and it's not expensive to prevent, but it's the first thing you should ask about before buying one, and the first thing you should budget for after. Beyond that, this is a genuinely well-sorted platform, and Ford had years of experience with this generation of Fusion by the time the Sport arrived, and most of what shows up on forums is routine wear and tear, not catastrophic failure. Just don't skip the PTU service. That one's on you now that you know about it. Here's the part of the story that ties this whole thing together. In March of 2019, Ford ended Taurus production entirely. And with it, the Taurus SHO, the car we already told you about on this channel. A few months later, in June of 2019, Ford confirmed the Fusion Sport was getting cut too, eliminated from the lineup for the 2020 model year as the company focused what was left of its sedan business on the trims people actually bought. Two of Ford's quickest, most capable performance sedans killed within months of each other, as Ford poured everything into Broncos, Mustangs, and SUVs. The regular Fusion limped on for one more year before Ford pulled the plug on the entire nameplate in July of 2020, ending production for good. Here's a piece of Fusion trivia most people don't know, and it's got nothing to do with the sport trim, but it says a lot about this nameplate. Back in 2007, Ford built a heavily modified, hydrogen-powered Fusion called the Fusion 999, took it out to the Bonneville Salt Flats, and set a production-based land speed record of over 207 miles per hour. That car has essentially nothing in common with the sport sitting in your driveway, but it's a reminder that Ford spent years quietly proving this nameplate could do far more than anyone gave it credit for, right up until the day they killed it for good. Today, that means you can find a Fusion Sport for genuinely absurd money. Higher mileage 2017 models start around $6,000 to $8,000, with cleaner, lower mileage examples pushing into the low to mid-teens. Compare that to the car's original sticker price of over $41,000 brand new, and you're looking at one of the steepest depreciation curves of any car on this channel, which, if you're the one buying it today, is very good news. The Fusion Sport never got the attention it deserved. It came out swinging with genuine performance numbers in a body nobody would ever suspect, and Ford killed it before most people even clocked that it existed. If you like the Taurus SHO, this is the car Ford built right alongside it. Quicker, cheaper today, and just as invisible in a parking lot. And honestly, that might be the most Ford thing about this whole story. They built two of the best sleeper sedans of the decade, sold them side by side for a couple of years, and then walked away from both at almost the exact same time, like neither one ever happened. So, between this and the Taurus SHO, which Ford sleeper would you actually daily drive? Would you take the quicker, cheaper, all-wheel drive Fusion or the bigger, more comfortable SHO? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe. We've got plenty more hidden performance sedans to dig into. See you in the next one.